Thank you for joining me today. I am Rekha Prakash and my co-author is Mr. Zaharuddin. Our paper is about artificial intelligence tools, perceptions of instructors. These are the sections we will cover today. AI tools are a part and parcel of life today. It is not surprising to see how easily it has entered the education sector and how it is being used both for teaching and learning. The introduction of ChatGPT in 2022 has opened a Pandora's box for learners. Instructors need to rethink regarding assessment of assignments. We sent out an online survey on the perceptions of instructors regarding a learner's usage of such tools to complete assignments. OpenAI informs that these tools are used to process text, create images, diagram, and pictures. So when a student hands in an assignment, it has to be completed with the help of various AI tools. This made us question the perceptions of instructors regarding how AI tools are being used by learners. And if this is being done, do they need to change their assessment criteria of these assignments? In our literature review, we noted many of the papers were from the learner's perspective. So we decided here to look at instructors' perceptions on the use of Boyd. Bring your own devices for completing assignments. Even though most of the research was from the student's viewpoint, we were able to correlate the data to the viewpoints of the instructors. This not only clarified that AI tools are used by all students and the assignment would need changes to the way they were assessed. The use of AI tools cover the interdisciplinary areas. The use of these tools benefit the learner as they send their questions via messages. For example, just today, I received a WhatsApp asking when I would be able to meet my student face to face. Besides, collaboration is easy for group members. The instructor can send instructions which are accessible anytime. Having downloaded the facts online, the students get higher scores when they make their corrections. This develops their independent learning skills and improves their confidence. On the other hand, text messages can be interpreted in many ways. So chances are high that instructions given could be ignored or misunderstood. Being young, they are distracted by other incoming messages, and this leads to delays when sending assignments. Besides, receiving many assignments at once can create frustration for instructors. All these are noted in the research by Sharpless et al. And Huang et al. Gerrell and Mayer explain the various areas that the use of these tools affect the learner. These include interaction, which is dependent on who was in the group, interaction among themselves, how transparent they could be, depending on the nature of the student, and of course the subject that needed their contribution. Now, let me explain about the various assessment methods noted in various papers. This perception was included in the study as institutions need to make changes in the assessments so that students are given credit for bringing their voice to the assignment and not just pasting information that has been regurgitated with the help of AI tools. Miller and Mock in 2023 and Sharpless et al. In 2014 included various methods when assessing assignments. The first two included a reflective journal and mind mapping. These methods, we are aware, help students understand the learning journey and develop questioning that leads to the completion of the assignment. Miller and Mock further use the expression value chain as it develops their own values and improves their learning experience. Boyd facilitates feedback, which encourages the learner. By giving hints and feedback, students are encouraged to correct errors and gaps by themselves. This improves their grades and make them more confident. Of course, when we consider the drawbacks, one would be overloading of information, and this discourages the learner. And besides, instructors need training on how to use these apps effectively. For example, some institutions use Proctor app to monitor, identify, and track user activity. But the instructor would need training on its use so that it can benefit the learner. Other assessment methods include the narrative method and the threshold concept. The narrative explores the learner's interpretation of the content of a subject. The threshold encourages creativity as learners have to produce their own points of a content using videos or other creative applications. Similar to what I am doing right now, I'm giving my information in a presentation. When the instructor reviews the work, they can point out the errors and gaps. And by doing so, the learner improves his or her understanding of the subject. Yet another method is bricolage. This is the time memorial method used by children to learn using a song or games. And now with AI tools, this creative method is more interactive and holds the learner's interest for a longer time. This empowers the learner to learn from. Of course, AI tools can discourage, for it depends on the learner's own resources. Besides the issue concerning lagging, because lagging causes delays. Kadir pointed out that students may plagiarize as AIED, Artificial Intelligence in Education, develops a form of dependency among learners. McGrath et al. Informs that this dependency covers 3 areas: work practices, political implications within an institution, and support from authorities, as any changes to assessments have to be accepted by the authority. So the review of the literature mostly concentrated on student perceptions, but it allowed us to look at these areas. Instructor perception and how AI tools were used by students, areas used to improve assignments, the assignment scores, and the last, which is the most popular AI tools used. This is the perception of the instructors. The methodological approach is both quantitative and qualitative. A survey was uploaded using global forms as it is user-friendly. There were 30 items, which include items 1 to 10 noted the demographics such as programs, country of origin of the instructors, students, and other points. There were 20 instructors who responded to the survey, and they were from foundation, diploma, advanced diploma, and postgraduate programs. Looking at item 11 to 23, we use the Likert scale on the reasons perceived for using AI tools. Items 21 to 29 use yes/no answers regarding perceptions of AI tools, the usage. And item 30 noted the most popular AI tools used by students for assignments. A thematic analysis helps to analyze the perceptions of the instructors. And the triangulation method is because we had expert instructors from various fields. It's not surprising that instructors agreed that all students used AI tools in their assignments. This is similar to the study by Vierio and Pietria in 2025, where they stated that students use these tools to complete assignments. They used it regularly, and only 1.2% did not use AI tools. 33.3% of the lecturers in our study perceived the use of these tools were for problem solving. 83.5% in Vierio and Petria's report informed that AI tools help students to complete assignments effectively. So you can see the connection here. Besides, in this study, instructors noted that a high number used it for their draft and even for a final copy of an assignment. Students are noted to use tools to get information, item 12, create a text, summarize, paraphrase, which is item 21. This clearly indicates that instructors note that AI tools are used throughout the duration of completing an assignment. 38.1% of instructors noted that tools are used to translate information. This showed that students use tools to improve their understanding of a content that is downloaded. Gerrel and Mayer reported that students in humanities, 61%, and those studying law, 58%, use translation apps. This study clearly indicates that instructors are aware of the areas used by the students to improve their assignments. When you look at item 24 to 28 in our survey, it covered a thematic analysis of the ways used by instructors to set regulations about the use of AI tools. It is interesting to note that 5.4% of the instructors did not include instructions in the first week of classes regarding AI tools. You would think that this is a period which is important to set the do's and don'ts in a classroom. However, 70% did give instructions regarding plagiarism and other issues in the use of AI tools before giving an assignment. This also indicates that instructors are aware that learners use these tools. However, clear guidelines may not be used in these instructions, or it might not be given at an appropriate period. Item 30 was about which application is popular among the students. And we can see here clearly in this graph, ChatGPT and Canva are the most popular tools. These tools create slides and notes and saves time regarding producing assignments. Grammarly corrected grammatical errors and created written assignments that appear to be well written. This study noted that students in the biotechnological, postgraduate, business, nursing, education, and foundation use Grammarly in their assignments. AI tools are free and require prompts to produce information in a short period of time. Gerrel and Mayer report, their report agrees that ChatGPT or GPT-4 are the most popular tools used by. The current study is further supported by Vierio and Petria's paper, which noted that AI enhances the learner's process in these thematic ways. It is time-saving, it optimizes comprehension, and the free tools help learners produce assignments. So to conclude, This study clarifies that instructors are aware that students use AI tools to complete assignments. It helps students discuss and get feedback. The study informs instructors do caution students on the use of AI tools before an assignment is given. However, they are concerned about the increase in academic fraud. The study affirms that students are using these tools to get information, improve text, summarize, paraphrase, and to create images. It further affirms that control measures are needed to reduce the misuse of these tools. This study proposes that institutions should set standards regarding the use of AI tools. Training programs for instructors and students would enforce the legitimate use of tools. These rules need to be supported by the institution. The grading system should be adjusted when creating rubrics for assignments. Policymakers need to include instructions on the ethical use and assessment regulations regarding the use of AI tools. I end this presentation by quoting Asimov in a book written way back in 1991. A robot may not injure a human being or through intention allow a human being to come to harm, except when required to do so in order to prevent greater harm to humanity itself. Profound words. Do they support the benefit of the use of these tools, or do they bring out the point about the confusion of using these tools? Thank you.